What's up? It's Nick Gallo, Gallo, the guy you know. I'm here with the beautiful and talented Stacy Barthe. So, Stacy, how has your Chicago trip been so far?
Short.
Have you been here before?
I've been here with John Legend when he was doing his run. I actually stayed here. Yeah.
And I know you're releasing your new album this summer, Becoming. So, how long in total did it take, the whole process of making it?
I would say my whole life, but the as far as recording the songs, it was like over 2 years. Because I wasn't working on an album. I was just working on songs, which became an album. Like I didn't go in like I'm working on an album. You know what I mean?
And what are some producers and writers you have that's going to be featured on the album or that you just collaborated with behind the scenes?
Producers, this guy named James Malejo, he did Channel Orange for Frank Ocean, and he also did Green Light for John Legend. And Benny Cassette, Hit Boy, who else? Ron Pink, Common, John Legend are featured. Um, Damn, I can't. Ro James. He co-wrote "Hey You There with Me" and Shane Eli. And who else? I feel like I'm missing somebody. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
And I know John Legend's executive producing your album. How did you link up in the beginning, just to get connected?
I think his general manager or him, somebody found my first project on online, and they loved it and was like, they called me in to write songs for his last album. And then so that turned into him wanting to be involved in my artist project because he didn't know I was an artist. He thought I was just like a songwriter. And yeah, so we've been rocking for like the last 3 years.
And I know you've written some of the biggest songs, especially Cheers by Rihanna. It's one of my favorite songs. And knowing that you wrote it, it's like that song could get you in a good mood. Like, no matter what people are saying, exactly, whether you're doing bad or good, it's just an amazing, uplifting, it gets you in a better mood anytime. So, how did you get involved with like getting your music out there to big artists and, people that were established? How did you go about that?
Well, I'm signed to a publishing deal, and I started out my songwriting career with Hit Boy, and so I moved to Atlanta. One thing led to another. I don't really know how I got here, truthfully. I don't really remember. Just one thing led to another, and one person led to another person, and then.
And what's your favorite song you've written for somebody and your favorite song you've written for yourself that's going to be on your project?
I don't think I've written my favorite song yet.
Okay. How about for any artist that you like?
Oh, I like "Adore You" from Miley. I love that song. But as far as my favorite song, my personal favorite song for myself, I don't think I've written it yet. But I'm super hard on myself. I'm just like, I have a bunch of great songs, but my favorite I haven't written yet.
And your sound is such, your voice, your sound, it's like a fresh breath there. How would you describe yourself musically?
I'm like air. It can't be boxed in or contained. Like, I'm not, I don't know what to describe it as. Some people, because I'm a bigger girl, be like, oh, it's like Neo Soul or Jill Scott. And I was like, not at all, actually. And I love Jilly from Philly, by the way. But yeah, I don't know what it is. How do you describe it?
It's just refreshing. It's something different. It's something that's not out there, I feel like it's something that no one has touched yet, I feel. So it's nothing that doesn't sound like anybody, so that's why I think it stands out so much. So I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, and the album's kind of heavy. I'm talking about suicide and alcoholism and self-esteem and all that stuff that I'm still sort of working through.
So, I know, Beyonce, Pharrell, Rick Ross, they've all commented on how great of a songwriter and artist you are. How does it make you feel, just like when you hear comments from people in the industry?
I'd be thinking they lying. I do. I'd be like, really? You really fuck with that? Truthfully, I just be thinking they lying. I just be thinking people be saying it to be nice sometimes. But you're dealing with somebody with low self-esteem, so I won't believe anybody. Jesus come down and be like, girl. I'd be like, you sure, Jesus?
Okay. And then I know you're signed with Motown Records. How did you feel when you signed that day? How long ago was it?
It was 3 years ago. I mean, I was excited 3 years ago. Yeah, so yeah.
And I know you shot the video for War for Love. It's an amazing video. How'd you come up with the concept? Or did you collaborate with someone?
Yeah, I collaborated with the director, Embryo. I mean, I wanted to shoot it in the desert, but we didn't have the budget, so we had to settle for the what do you call it? What was that? Just the stage. Yeah, I really wanted it in the desert. Though. I really wanted them to be kicking up dust and just fighting in the jungle, and you know what I mean. But whatevs. But yeah, the whole voodoo priestess thing. I'm Haitian, and so that's kind of like my culture. It wasn't exactly executed. Truthfully, it wasn't exactly executed the way I envisioned it, but it was fun.
And how does it feel to have one of the theme song for one of the biggest shows on, for Being Mary Jane?
I mean, that's one of my favorite shows, and the writer and director Mara Akil Brock. She's like, I really look up to her. Like she's amazing, and she gave me a platform to be heard. I was performing in Orlando last couple of days for the Boys and Girls Club, and it was like 2,500 kids, basically from 11 to 18, I believe. I was like, they ain't trying to hear what I'm talking about. They want to go up on a Tuesday and Drake, you know what I mean? And they were here for it. And I asked them, how many people were familiar with the Being Mary Jane show. And that show is hella grown. The entire audience of kids watched that.
That's amazing.
I was like, that's dope.
Did you write the song beforehand?
Yeah, I wrote it 3 years ago. Yeah, before that was even a thought. And she heard it, and it kind of fit the theme of being beautifully flawed. It's the human condition. I feel like that beautifully flawed could go for anybody,
And that's what else I want to say. Your story is just a complete inspiration to boys and girls. Just want to thank you for letting it out there, because so many artists I feel hold it in, where it's just not, it's not authentic. Where I just appreciate it so much for you, telling your story and letting everyone know that, it's not all glitz and glamour. It is, just serious stuff, you take in consideration. So I want to thank you for that. And
I don't want to pretend. I mean, I've lived 30 years of regular life, so I don't really know how to, you have to put on. I don't ever put on. If I'm not feeling good, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, I want to wish you the best of luck and to the album. And what else do you have coming up for the rest of the year, for the summer?
I don't know. I'm just taking it day by day. I mean, I'm sure there's stuff on the books, but if I wake up, then I'll deal with it.
Do you want to tour for the album once it's released this summer, like touring like in the fall?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm just taking it day at a time.
I want to wish you the best of luck, like I said, on the album and the rest of your career. And it's Nick Gallo, Gallo the Guy you know, here with Stacy Barthe.